Hey everyone, it's Wendy. Welcome to my new channel. Today we're going to be making a Dallas Cowboys door wreath step by step. And if you like this video, I would absolutely love for you to comment, like, and hopefully hit that subscribe button so I can grow this channel. So let's get started. For this project, we're going to need a 14-inch wreath form from Dollar Tree, and then some 21-inch mesh that I got from Hobby Lobby, some 5.5-inch mesh from Michael's, 2 rolls of this 6-inch gray and silver mesh from the Dollar Tree. It was in the Christmas section, and so were these white and silver striped mesh rolls. 1 package of silver tinsel stems. They used to be called pipe cleaners, but 4 yards of this gray and white chevron ribbon, 1.5 inches wide. And then 6 yards of this 2.5-inch wide ribbon. 2 rolls of this glitter ribbon, 5/8 inch. I got these at Dollar Tree in the Christmas section again. And then in the toy section, I found this foam football. It's blue and orange, but we're gonna change that. And then just some white paint, whatever you use is fine. This is just some that I had on hand. And then at Party Works, I found these Cowboys pennants. They're so cute and they're pretty strong. They're made out of felt, but there's a package of 8 there. We're only gonna be using 3. And then scissors, a hole punch, and a pretty hefty sewing needle. And that's gonna be it, except for a paintbrush that I forgot to put down. So we're gonna first start with painting the other side of this football, since this is Cowboys and not Bears. And so we're just gonna paint it, and I was really pretty surprised how easily this went on to the foam. And I used 2 of the mesh rolls just to use it as a holder for me. And then it looks like I left the price tag on, but that was actually printed on the foam as well. So this doesn't have to be perfect, but you just kind of want to get it to where if it does show in the wreath, it's not going to be so noticeable if it was orange. So once that's done, you're just going to set that aside to dry, and then we're going to start on our wreath. So I know you guys have probably seen this a million times, but you're just going to feed the tinsel stem through the wreath form, the first 2 rings, and then just tie it pretty snugly around and twist it a couple times. You're going to do 3 tinsel stems per section, 1 in the middle and 2 on each of those crossbars. And you want to do them diagonally so that they don't move around on you when you're building your wreath. And you're going to do this all the way around the entire circle. So once you have those all done, then you're going to just flatten them out towards the outside so you can work on the next set, which is going to be the middle 2 rings. And you're just going to do the same thing, but this time you're just going to do 2 at each section just in the middle, so there won't be any crossbar ties. But so you have your 2 middle ones done, and then in the inner 2 you're going to do the same pattern that you did for the outside 2 rings. So 1 in the middle and then 1 at each of those crossbars. So I went back and forth and was doing the middle and the inside. So I think you get the idea just from watching. So now I'm just going to throw in the middle stems into the middle of the wreath, count them up, make sure I have the right amount, that I didn't miss any. And then I'm going to take my really thick mesh and crunch it down into a handful, kind of twist it around so that I can get it into the first pipe cleaner, and twist it really tight so that it's stable. The end you're just going to stick in through to the back because that's not going to show. And then just grab a handful and move it into the next pipe cleaner. All of a sudden now they're pipe cleaners. I'm reverting to my old age here. And there's our first poof. And so we're just going to continue doing this. Grab it. The hardest part is just trying to get it under control and kind of manhandling it to get it where you want to go. But the other thing is the mesh itself wants to stick onto the tinsel stems, so you just have to be patient. Then I noticed that my poofs were starting to get different sizes, so I made myself a couple of lines so that I could measure how long they were going to be. You only have to really do this on the first one, if you even have to do it all, but that way they would be the same size all the way around. So you're just going to poof it all the way around, and then when you get to your last poof, you're going to take it and put it into the same pipe stem. Oh, now it's a pipe stem, tinsel stem that you started with, and then just cut off the excess and poke it right back through so it's not showing. And there's your poofy start. Next we're going to take the gray Dollar Tree mesh, and that's going to actually go again in the same pipe cleaner outside portion that you did. You don't have to measure this one because you're just going in and out and giving it some more texture and color, and it kind of does all the work for you by the way it rolls around and poofs out. But you just keep going all the way around. So we're at the end again, and you're going to put it in the same tinsel stem as the first one and cut that off. This one you don't even really need to poke in the back because it kind of just adds to the dimension of it, and it's not even noticeable. Same with the pipe cleaners. Now we're going to go into the middle two and start off by just poofing again, and just go in through the second two rings. You know, that's where the middle set of pipe cleaners are, and just keep filling her up. Then for our last set, we're gonna use that 5.5 inch kind of sparkly blue mesh, and just again started in the middle with the first pipe cleaner, and then just go all the way around. And this is gonna really fill it in and make it nice and full. now for our ribbon, we've got all 4 laid out on our cutting mat, and I cut these to be about 15 to 16 inches long, and I'm just showing you here that we're doing it the slow way, but how we're going to actually build what I like to call the fireworks, because they kind of look like a exploding firework when we're done, or you could call them pom-poms or whatever. But you're just going to cut them all down, all of your pieces of ribbon that you're going to use, and you want to use different widths of ribbon just to give it some interest. So now we're going to dovetail the ends of our ribbon, and this is such thin ribbon that I just doubled it over and then folded it in half, and then just cut at an angle, and that gives you your little dovetail at the end of the ribbon. And then same thing with the fabric ones, just fold it over, cut it. We're going to do that with all of them. Now I'm building the little fireworks, and you're just going to layer from the thickest to the thinnest, and I put the blue on top of the gray just so it would have contrast, and then fold it over, get the middle, and then just gather it all up and pinch it in the middle, fold it up and kind of twist it so that it's all together there. And then take your tinsel stem, wrap it once, and then wrap the other side around just to get it together, and then twist it a couple times. And you want to make sure that the stem itself is long enough so that it'll reach through to your wreath form. There it is, isn't it cute? We're going to go ahead and make 5 more, so there'll be a total of 6. And this is how I would normally do it, just to get them done quicker. we're gonna just start adding our little fireworks to the wreath form, and you just kind of have to dig in there and find your rings to get it to grab on, and feed the tinsel stem in, flip it over and twist it. our football is dry, we're gonna attach it to the wreath. Figure out which part you want to be the top, and this is where I decided to have it. So what we need to do is get a piece of tinsel through the football. So using the needle, I threaded the tinsel stem into the eye and pulled it down a little, folded it, and then I'm going to stick it through the foam. And it's not too hard, but you just have to be careful that you don't poke yourself, and that the stem itself is straight when you're going through, so it makes it a little bit easier. But just pull it through, and now you have a hanger so that we can attach it to the wreath form. So using the same method, just feed it through and then attach it on the back. Make sure it's where you want it, and do it a little looser in the back so that it's got some wiggle room, and when you know exactly where you want it, go ahead and twist away. And I also attached it to another tinsel stem just to give it some more support. But there it is. I just think this is so cute. So now we're going to add the pennants to the wreath, and just got to figure out where you want it, and we're going to punch a little hole so that we can stick a tinsel stem through it, and that's super easy. It's like thinner than regular felt, but once you get the tinsel stem in and find a spot, feed it through and attach it, and do that 2 more times. I decided just to use 3. You can use as many or as few as you want, but I thought 3 was a good number. Now that you've got it all done, you have everything in, and make sure it's all balanced and ready to roll. The last step is to put a little hanger on there, and just feed it through the top 2 rings, twist it at the bottom, and then twist it again so it makes a little loop, and hang her up. There she is in all her glory. Then you can go through after you've hung it up and foof it all up and get rid of these extra strings that'll come off of the mesh, and it doesn't really bother me, but I love the sparkle, and I think it came out really well. And here they are. Of course, I have 2 doors, so we had to have 2 wreaths. But I think they really came out good. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel so that it can grow. That would really be appreciated. So thanks so much for watching. Bye.